Hello, this is Billy Core from the Nostalgia Mall, and well, check this out. We got a new car. That's right. Well, it's not brand new. It's new to us. We bought it used. But this is a 2015 Honda Accord EX. Currently has about 20,000 miles on it. We got a very good deal on it. Very nice car. Just a disclaimer, though. 95 Accord, still alive and well. I'm going to make sure that never goes anywhere. But this really isn't my car, it's my parents' car, but I still get to drive it quite a bit, so that's very nice. Newest car I've ever driven, and the fanciest car I've ever driven. If you remember our 2013 Honda Accord, well, this is quite similar. Of course, the 2013 Accord we had to sell back in 2015, but we now have one not only similar to it, but actually better. This has more features. Of course, this one is actually white, and I got to admit, I have always been a sucker for white cars for some reason. Probably because of my dad's influence. He owned 3 white Honda Accords when I was a kid. He owned a 95 Accord, just like that one, except it was a V6 and white. And then he traded it in for a 97 white Honda Accord, and then he traded it in for a 2000 white Honda Accord, which we kept until 2004. And this makes white Honda number 4, I guess. So, yeah, very, very nice car. A little bit dirty because it's been kind of a rainy week. Today is actually July the 26th, the day I'm recording this, and we've now had this car exactly 2 weeks now. We bought it on Thursday, July the 12th, and this is the car that we drove for the 10,000 subscriber road trip special. So we will be doing a ride-along in this video, but if you want to see a really long ride-along, check out the 10,000 subscriber video for that. Got fog lights down there. Of course, the 13 had that. Alloy wheels, turn signals on the side mirror. Of course, a lot of this is not all that special to a lot of you guys, but I'm coming off of a 23-year-old car, so yeah, a little bit of rain on it. Bought it at Impex in Greensboro. So yeah, really cool. So I guess we should check out the inside. Now, this is the first car I've ever had that uses a push-button start. And so all you need is just this little remote, and you can just put your thumb on this button here. You don't even have to press it, and it automatically unlocks for you. Now in the driver's seat, here's the instrument panel there. Again, a lot of the same features as the 2013 that we used to have. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but it has a moonroof. I have always loved moonroofs. Our 2000 Accord had one of these. That was the only other car we had that had a moonroof, and it's nice to have one of these back. I remember back in 2000, when the 2000 Accord was about a year old at the time, it started snowing, and this was in November, believe it or not. And my dad decided to open the moonroof to let the snow into the car, just as a joke. Of course, we were driving down the road and we only had it open for a minute or so, but still kind of a funny story. Got your map lights there. There's the back seat, if you can see it. Car's still relatively clean since we've only had it 2 weeks. There's the center console there. Gear shift here. Even though this isn't the sport model and it doesn't have the paddle shifters here behind the steering wheel, it still has a sport gear, so I'm not exactly sure how that works. But anyway, let's go ahead and start the car, mainly because it's getting kind of hot in here. To start this car, this is like no other car I've ever had. You don't turn a key in the ignition. You put your foot on the brake, and you press this red button here. And we're all ready to go. Now we can get a better look at the instrument panel here since everything's on. We've currently got 20,415 miles, and it is 83 degrees Fahrenheit outside. It has a thermometer there, and it has a little gauge here. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but as you're driving, it will show you your MPG. So if you're slamming on the gas, it'll go down, but if you don't have your foot on the gas, it'll go up. And we got a full tank right now. And it has this Econ button here that evidently when you press it in, it'll help save on gas a little bit. Well, that was pointless. So let's open the moonroof. We can open it with this little switch right here. And close it, just push it the other direction. And we can tilt it open. That comes in handy if you're parked somewhere and you want to let the hot air out. So yeah, I love moonroofs. I don't know why. It's got dual zone climate, so the driver and the passenger can each have their own temperature. So that's really cool. Again, the 2013 had that. And you have this cool little LCD screen right here that shows you your radio information. It actually tells you the titles of the songs playing on the radio if the radio station supports it. Of course, I have the sound down because of copyright reasons. Has, of course, a CD player, a USB port, which is where I have my iPod connected at the moment, and your obligatory auxiliary in. And one thing I want to try to do with this sometime, of course I need to get a new one because my old one broke. I want to get a portable tape player like a Sony Walkman that's auto reverse connected to here, and have a car tape player in a 2015 model sedan. So that's pretty insane. But I'm weird, you know. Okay, and it also has Bluetooth, so it's currently connected to my phone, so I can talk to people on my phone, and it'll come out of the car speakers, and it has a microphone up there for my voice. So, and it also has controls on the steering wheel for the radio.
WMAG. 99.5 WMAG wants to make you a winner.
Cool.
Oh, that's nice. I don't care. So, let's see if there's anything else on here. It's just controls for the radio. Oh, and I have my GPS in here. I put it in here for the road trip special last week, but I haven't taken it back out yet. Oh, there's also air vents on the back of the console for the back seat, which is really nice. Of course, you got your glove compartment there. There's my dad's sunglasses up there. Not sure there's much else to see. I guess later on when we get back from running errands, we can take a look at the what's under the hood. Oh, a nice thing about this car is not only can you hook your iPod up to that USB port, you can put a bunch of songs on a USB flash drive, plug them in, and just listen to them. It's very, very convenient. That's what I did for my road trip last week. Anything else? Yeah, it's a really cool screen. And it's not touch screen, which I actually prefer that. Yeah, I guess there's nothing else to really do right now except take this out on the road. So I will be right back. Okay, we're on the road now. Actually, I have a reason for being out. I gotta run some errands in town. And unlike last time when we were doing a ride along in this car, we were actually in Greensboro, so I know where I am. So we're actually headed to Pyramids Village, which, as you know, is where Carolina Circle Mall used to be. And I just remembered, I forgot to show you the backup camera and the passenger side mirror camera. I guess we'll do that when we get home. I'm actually recording on my smartphone right now on a dashboard mount, which is what we used on our road trip special. I didn't want to use my actual camera because it's just not a good idea to be holding a camera while driving, because if you don't get pulled over by the cops, you'll find yourself inside of a telephone pole. So you may recall we took a similar route a few months ago when I showed damage from the tornado that came through Greensboro. Well, I'm happy to say that at least in this neighborhood, things have really improved. Been a lot of repairs done. This is the road that we had to turn around on because it was blocked by a tree. And thankfully, that has been long ago taken care of. So, the damage in other parts of town, though, is still pretty intense. Unfortunately, the tornado tore through a pretty poverty-stricken part of town, so it's taking a long time for them to recover, and that's quite unfortunate. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. You know, there's nothing special about this car. It's just another Honda. Well, you know, our family has been very, very loyal to Honda since we first bought our first Honda back in 1994, which was a 1994 Honda Accord. We bought that new. And if you're wondering what it looked like, well, unfortunately we don't have any photos of it. But right here is where the tornado came through, by the way. But just imagine my 95 Accord without the rear wing spoiler and different hubcaps. It looked exactly the same color and everything. And ever since then, that's the only brand of car we've ever bought, except in 2006 when my dad bought a 2006 Dodge Ram pickup truck, which I really don't miss, to be honest with you. But that was because Honda really didn't have any good trucks at the time. But I've also really liked Honda for most of my life. I have never had one break down on me. They're fun cars to me. I know everyone has their own taste in vehicles, but Honda is just my taste. And the fact that my car, the 1995 Honda Accord, we bought new 23 years ago, still runs beautifully at over 200,000 miles. It's kind of a testament to good quality. And that car has never broken down on me, ever. Worst that ever happened to me in that car was the wreck I had back in 2010, but that obviously was not the car's fault. So, yeah, I've just really been a fan of Honda since I was 4 years old, I guess. I really wish I had record of the existence of that 94 Honda Accord. We only had it from August of 94 to, I believe, March of 95, so we didn't really have that car long. There was absolutely nothing wrong with that car, but in early 1995, Honda came out with the V6 Honda Accord, the 6-cylinder, and my dad just had to have that, so he traded that 94 in for that first white Honda Accord, the 95 V6. So that's probably why we don't really have any record of the of that car's history because we just really didn't have it very long. So, yeah, how's it going, folks? Read any good books lately? Getting close to the mall now. They're actually planning to add on to Pyramids Village in a very substantial way. There's an empty lot across from where the Walmart is, and they're wanting to put a fancy hotel, a movie theater, an ice rink, stores, restaurants, and apartments there. And it's not written in stone, but it's been quite the talk of the town for the last month and a half or so when it was first announced. So, yeah, I kind of hope that that happens. And what's neat is it's going to have an ice rink, and well, that's not going to be the first ice rink on that property because, you know, Carolina Circle Mall had one from the day it opened in '76 to 1988. Sadly, I never got to go to that ice rink because it closed the year before I was born. So, hopefully we'll be able to see that come into fruition someday. And that new KFC over there is still not open. It looks completely done, but it's not open. I don't know what's going on over there. So, we're approaching Pyramids Village now. And I've actually got to go to that Walmart and get some groceries. Busy intersection here, but I don't know if you can see it or not, but the empty lot to the left in this video is where they're planning to build all that stuff. So we'll just have to wait and see and hope for the best. And this Walmart's parking lot is not a very pleasant place to be existing in. It is not designed very well. YouTube user Elmo3, when he came down to visit me, he had to come to this parking lot, and it about drove him nuts, and I can completely understand why. So, anyway, I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, leaving Walmart. Just want to show you right across from there in that empty field where all those weeds are, that's where they're going to be building all that stuff, hopefully. Okay, I'm heading back home now. I'm on US 29 North, and I actually got the car washed while I was out. I did that off camera, of course, but yeah, I guess when we get home, we'll take another look at the outside, and I'll show you the backup and side mirror cameras, so you can see how those work. So yeah, really like this car. It's got a lot of horsepower to it. 185. Well, maybe that's not a whole lot, but it's a lot more than the 130 horsepower that's in my 95 Accord. So that's quite a big jump for me, so I have to be careful when hitting on the accelerator because the speedometer will go way up there if you're not careful. So I guess I'll resume the video when we get home. Okay, now that we're back home, I can show you the backup camera. So, and again, the 2013 had this as well. It's just all you have to do is put it in reverse, and it even has a little guide to show you where the car will go. Keep backing up, which is very, very convenient. And the side mirror camera, which is kind of on the bottom there. You kind of see it's sticking out there. It actually turns on when you turn the right turn signal on, but it also turns on if you press this button right here. So, yeah, there's the side mirror camera. It really comes in handy for when you're merging into traffic and you want to check your blind spot. It makes it a lot easier. So, yeah, very, very proud of this car. I don't know why it yells at me when I get out of the car while it's still running, but yeah, again, I watched it while we were out. So yeah, very, very, very proud of this car, even though it's not mine, but I drive it enough so I kind of feels like mine in a way. And it's great to have a car that isn't so old that it was built in the Clinton administration. So yeah, I think we'll look at the engine in another video, but it's about what you'd expect. So, that's all there is to see on this car right now. So, this is Billy Core, signing off. Thank you for visiting the Nostalgia Mall. If you liked what you saw, please like, subscribe, and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also support me on Patreon if you would like. The link to all of these are down below. Until next time, this is Billy Core, signing off.